What is going on, everybody? Weedle here, and we are backing in with an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be a rarely used tier battle against Paulina, a person I battled off my Discord server, and I'm still unsure if my opponent's IGN is a reference to Danny Phantom, or maybe she just really wants to be Paulina, but either way, I can respect that. Now, as you can see by my team, I'm packing, Focus Sash, Counter, Endeavor, Sceptile. I mean, there's no way you could have deciphered that from my team preview, but either way, I'm running that set. Also running Sturdy Sock, and notice how I have, two Pokemon that have to be at full HP to really execute their sets correctly, and I have no hazard control because that's just the flawless Weedle Tornado team build, because my opponent's team looks really, really scary. She has, like Linoon, Feraligatr, and Como-O, very scary monsters, and the rarely used here, that is for sure. So on the first turn, she leads off with their Espeon. I decided to lead off with my Escavalier because I figured that it can take on pretty much any potential lead except for Como-O, and since the Como-O is likely not going to lead off, I felt pretty safe in this play. She actually ends up being a dual screen Espeon, which is not actually that surprising because that is a pretty common set from what I've seen on Showdown. Gonna go for the Pursuit here, anticipating her to want to switch out, but she does just decide to go for dual screens, maybe anticipating Pursuit, but either way she's able to get up her dual screens here, and since she has the Light Clay, they're gonna last for 8 turns, so it's a little bit unfortunate for me considering she has, Linoon, and then she has Feraligatr, she has Hoopa, she has Honchkrow, she has a lot of potential sweepers on her team, and I am not prepared for them. So now she can actually bring in her Honchkrow and go for Z Mirror move to Black Hole Eclipse me, but she decides to bring in her Feraligatr instead, which is kind of shocking because I have a pretty solid switch into Feraligatr being my Seismitoad, my 6-foot Kush, as now I know I can easily tank a Liquidation or Water Ball if my opponent decides to go for Dragon Dance. Either way, even with Dragon Dance, I know she can't 2-hit KO me because Seismitoad is max defense and she can't hit me with Liquidation, so I feel pretty safe in this play, and I can just fish for a Scald Burn here, or I can potentially go for Stealth Rocks, but I don't want to mess with this Feraligatr, so I decided to go for Scald here. So my opponent actually switches into Hoopa. She told me that this is their Scald switch, and so I'm like, okay, I guess so, because she has Light Screen up and she doesn't really have a good Scald resistance, so hey, I guess this is her Scald switch. But what she really meant was that she has an Absorb Bulb on her Hoopa to switch into Scalds, and I'm just like, well, you know what? That's genius, dude. Props. I gotta give my opponent props for that one. So I wasn't expecting that, that's for sure. And now she goes for the taunt to prevent me from setting up Stealth Rock. So my opponent's actually flexing on my face right now. And I'm just like, okay, I don't want to take a Shadow Ball from this thing. So I decided to pull a switch into my Paladin here, completely forgetting about the Magician ability. So my opponent's able to go for Shadow Ball. I should be able to tank it because I'm Assault Vest, and I do tank it, but my Assault Vest that I have, I no longer have, as the Hoopa steals it from me, and now it's going to be able to 2-hit KO me with the Shadow Ball. So Absorb Bulb Hoopa actually just body bagged me, and you want to know what? My opponent deserved that. Props to you. Props to you, Paulina. Now I'm going to bring in my Scarf Sock, my Sock Me Off, and now I can just go for a knockoff to knock this thing out. My opponent is going to play it safe, switch out, and bring in the Como-O, but at the very least I'm able to knock off these Como-O's items, so that's pretty good. I'm going to go for that knockoff here, as it does 0 thanks to the dual screens, and I see we do not knock off an item, so it tells me that the Como-O is actually a Z move, and Honchkrow is not a Z move, which is good to know, and I don't want to stay in here and take said Z move, so I bring in my Totem God here, expecting the Clangorous Soul Blaze or whatever. My opponent predicts me to bring in my Fairy type, goes for the Flash Cannon, and it's going to do so much damage, but thankfully we're able to live that because she's not Specs or anything like that, so we're able to tank it, and now I can hit this thing with a Moonblast, so I highly doubt she's going to want to stay in here and tank a Moonblast from my Rabombi. So now she's going to switch out and bring in the Hoopa here because she can easily tank a Moonblast despite the fact I'm Specs. But I decided to lock myself in the Sticky Web because I want to get the Sticky Web just so my other Pokemon can potentially outspeed her, and so Dragon Dance Feraligatr doesn't get too out of hand. So I felt like that was my best play overall, and now I'm going to switch out and bring in my 6-foot Kush yet again because I don't really have a reason to keep it at this point. I guess I could keep it for the Feraligatr, but I didn't really have a switch into Hoopa, and I want to save Rabombi to switch into the Dragon move in case, Como-O has that, which it probably does because it's Como-O. So you're able to, tank it, but we're not going to be able to tank 2, especially with this Spadef Trap. So unfortunately, our Seismifrog, the 6-foot Kush, is going to go down. So Shadow Ball is going to easily knock out my Seismitoad, and down goes 6-foot Kush. Now I'm going to bring in my Sock Me Off here, my Sock yet again, and I know my opponent brought in the Como-O beforehand, so I decided to go for Ice Punch this time around. She could have easily switched to Stayed In, but I did have the Sturdy ability, so worst case scenario, she gets 2-hit KO'd as she brings me down to my Sturdy, but she brings in her Como-O, gets affected by the Sticky Web, which doesn't really matter all that much as I do outspeed it regardless. Gonna go for the Ice Punch here, as it's going to do a crap load of damage to Como-O. Actually does a lot more than I thought considering Como-O's defense stats pretty damn high actually. And now she's gonna pull a switch again and bring in the Feraligatr, anticipating Ice Punch because I am locked into Ice Punch. Though she does not know that, I'm assuming, since I have Ice Punch in the first place, she probably thinks I'm locked into Ice Punch, which is true because I don't actually have any weakness policy, and I know Sturdy Sock this time around. I actually have Choice Scarf Sturdy Sock instead because I want to try out the set because it seems pretty fun. Now I'm going to bring in my Totem God here, anticipating my opponent to just go for any move. I just want to sack it off. I was going to save it for the Como O, but decided that I just want to sack it off, okay? Because I want to bring in Sceptile for free. So now I'm going to bring in my Geico, which can save you 15% or more on car insurance. I don't actually use Geico, unfortunately, for my car insurance. But yeah, now I'm going to switch out because I'm expecting her to bring in Como. So I bring in my Saggy Boops here, my Medicham, which I caught through the Alter Wormhole method, which is pretty cool. It actually has an impish nature, so you might be wondering, why are you using this Medicham? Okay, I wasn't anticipating Honchkrow to come in. That was not what I was expecting. But now she's going to switch out, not wanting to take a Thunder Punch, so she's going to bring in her Hoopa as Death Fodder, as I decided to go for the Z move because I'm really greedy. I'm actually a Z move on Medicham, so Shaniqua is going to put her hand out, and Medicham's going to get cloaked in the Z aura, and I'm actually Z Power Trick Medicham because I had a max defense nature in IV, so I'm like, how am I supposed to use this Medicham with an impish nature? And then I realized that Power Trick exists, so I decided to give it Z Power Trick. So now our attack stat's actually higher than Mega Medicham's right now. Gonna go for Thunder Punch and knock out the Hoopa. So now goes Hoopa, and now my opponent is gonna bring in the Honchkrow here. And I know Sucker Punch can knock me out because my attack stat's really low, and now my attack is in my defense stat. So I decided to go for Power Trick again, anticipating my opponent to go for Sucker Punch there, as we're able to get that play correctly. And now we have our impish nature back in defense. So now she's gonna go for Sucker Punch. We do tank it actually, but we definitely would have died if we didn't Power Trick, as I'm able to go for the Thunder Punch. I'm hoping at +1 attack with huge power or pure power, we should be able to knock out the Honchkrow, as thankfully down goes Honchkrow. And we still have +1 attack with pure power, so even though we're not max attack, Medicham's offensive stat doesn't really come from its stat itself. It's more of doubling the stat. So me losing the extra stats from Power Trick isn't really that big of a deal. Gonna go for HJK at +1 attack, as we're able to knock out Feraligatr regardless of me being an impish nature. And now my opponent's last is the Como O, I do believe, and Como O I think is going to get blown away by the Zen Headbutt, though it could be wrong. I think there's still other Pokemon left. Yeah, she does have other Pokemon left, but I do go for High Jump Kick. I do have Zen Headbutt, but I decided to go for High Jump Kick for the shits and giggles, and we're going to knock off the Como O. So like, even if like you can't get an opportunity to Power Trick, you can still go for the Psychic Z move, but it doesn't really help you considering you don't have Adamant, you have an impish nature, so I wouldn't recommend you actually run Power Trick Medicham. I just wanted to make a way for the Shiny Medicham to actually work in competitive play. So now I'm going to go for the Zen Headbutt here, fishing for a flinch, and I didn't want to miss High Jump Kick and then auto lose the game, so you guys can understand that much, right? So unfortunately, Linoone is a balanced Pokemon and is able to get the Velodrome off regardless of the fact I brought it down to red health, because that is just the balanced Pokemon that Linoone is, able to get the Velodrome off, and now it's looking pretty scary for me because I don't really have a switch into Linoone. She's able to go for Extreme Speed and knock out my Medicham, get a crit, which didn't matter at all, but not a big deal, as we do have Geico in the back, and Geico should be able to tank an attack from this thing because I am Focus Sash, and the Sceptile should be able to tank it. Hopefully we don't miss Leaf Storm or anything like that. She's going to go for E-Speed and bring us down to our Focus Sashes. Now I'm going to retaliate with a counter because I am Counter Endeavor Sceptile, and we're able to knock out the Linoone with a counter and defeat my opponent with a 2-0 victory. So that was a pretty cool battle against Paulina. Hope you guys enjoyed this Wi-Fi battle. It was a little bit fast-paced, but both me and my opponent's teams were extremely offensive, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Wi-Fi battle against Paulina. Unfortunately, I didn't get to showcase my Sock's complete moveset because I do have the Sturdy with, Choice Scarf reversal, so you can get some, late game reversal sweeps if you want to. I've also tried, Sturdy Sock with weakness policy as well, which is pretty fun to experiment with as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Wi-Fi battle against Paulina. If you guys did enjoy the Wi-Fi battle and want to express your gratitude towards my uploads, it means a lot to me if you hit the like button, as it keeps me motivated to put out these uploads for you guys, and it's always appreciated. And yeah, the question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite fighting type to use in competitive play? Let me know in the comments down below if you have a certain favorite fighting type you enjoy using, or if there's like a fighting type you think is absurdly strong and you just use it for free LP. Me personally, though, one fighting type I've had a lot of fun using recently is the Sock, though I didn't get to do all that much in this game. I've used both the Weakness Policy Sturdy Sock and Choice Scarf Sturdy Sock, and both of them work pretty well because people like to Psychic Sock and stuff to break it down to the Sturdy, and then you get Weakness Policy, and then you get Reversal. It's kind of like Hitmonlee, except you don't have to Endure, and then I enjoy using Endure Weakness Policy Hitmonlee too. I used that in my last battle, I'm pretty sure, and it did pretty well. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite fighting type is to use in competitive play. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. I'll check you guys next time. Bye.